The Republican lawmaker in charge of the sham effort to impeach Joe Biden is not having a good time justifying his whole effort on TV. So first, here's James Comer on with Jake Tapper just a couple of days ago.
So we think that this is just the tip of the iceberg. We think there are many more crimes. And my concern is that Weiss may have indicted Hunter Biden to protect him from having to be deposed.
Yes.
In the House Oversight Committee on Wednesday.
He indicted him to protect him. Yes. The classic rubric. He indicted him to protect him. I got it.
Well, look, this whole thing's been about a cover-up. You know, you've got two.
That's why he indicted him to protect him, to cover it up.
Well, look, you indict him on the least little thing, the gun charge, and not paying taxes.
He's facing like 17 additional years in prison.
Yeah, but look what he's done. Anybody else?
That's what you're saying, but the counter argument might be that it's not that he's only charging crimes that cannot be traced to President Biden. The counter argument might be he's only charging crimes for which there is actual evidence. And that would lead me to my next question is, can you name one piece of evidence or testimony that directly and credibly connects President Biden to any of this proven misconduct? Proven.
We believe President Biden committed a quid pro quo when he leveraged $1 billion of U.S. taxpayer money in Ukraine in exchange for firing the prosecutor, Cohen, who was investigating Burisma, the company that Hunter Biden just got charged with receiving substantial sums of money and not paying taxes. We believe that Joe Biden was directly involved in the termination. We believe this, Jake, because he admitted it on tape. That's one crime.
The entire. We'll get to the second in a second, okay. But just for our viewers' awareness, the entire Western world wanted Cohen fired. Like, it wasn't just President Biden. The entire Western world, the European Union, the G8, there were a lot of people, including Republican members of the House and the Senate, who wanted Cohen fired. It wasn't just like Vice President Biden, conspiring with himself. So, okay. In any case, I guess my other question is just, isn't something better than nothing? Why not just jump at the opportunity to grill Hunter Biden on national television? Here's your chance. You're the dog that caught the bus. Here it is.
This isn't about politics. It's not about theater. My job, I know the media, and I like you, Jake. I know the media would like to have a big public show, and that would be very entertaining. But my job is not to entertain. Public show.
Yes, it's me.
Right. My job is not to entertain you all. My job is to get the truth.
And now here's James Comer getting called out by Newsmax, acknowledging that the whole investigation looks like a joke.
He's making your investigation sound like a joke, and he's trying to make you look like a joke. And then half of America sees that, and they think your investigation is a joke. How do you work around that? How do you work through that?
Well, that's the first time I went on CNN in 3 months. We thought we would give it a try. Jake Tapper is an intelligent guy, but he's playing to a low IQ audience. CNN just is hemorrhaging viewers every day. And Jake's doing what he's told by his bosses at CNN, who are doing what they're told by their bosses at the Democrat National Committee. I mean, CNN is a wholly owned, unprofitable subsidiary of the Democrat National Committee.
And not for nothing, but when even Newsmax, basically state TV for Donald Trump and the GOP, is able to recognize that the optics aren't exactly falling in line for Republicans here, you might just have a problem. And look, the tenuousness of their argument is obvious. They wanted Hunter Biden indicted, he got indicted, and now they're complaining that he got indicted because apparently his indictment is now just yet another cover-up being perpetuated by the deep state, because that's how cover-ups work, by resulting in federal charges and likely prison time. Brilliant gambit, James. Way to uncover the truth. And look, I'm not here to carry water for Hunter Biden. I have said for as long as I can remember that if Hunter did something wrong, just hold him to account. Just like if anyone does something wrong, they should be held to account. I have no allegiance to Hunter Biden, and by the way, I don't have allegiance to any person because I'm not part of a cult. My allegiance is to policies that I believe should be enacted to expand healthcare and save the planet and close the income gap for the working class. And if someone is going to exploit those policies to enrich themselves or break the law, then replace that that person with someone who has morals. There are plenty of alternatives out there, period. If a Democratic politician or activist or advocate breaks the law, then I gain nothing by twisting myself into pretzels to defend them, other than destroying my own credibility. Which, by the way, is exactly what happened with all these Republicans and Trump. Everything they pretended to stand for, the Constitution, family values, fiscal conservatism, the military, the police, state rights, all went completely out the window once Trump broadcast that he didn't give a shit about any of those things, and the rest of his party followed suit. And now when they try to earnestly present themselves as being pro-family values or fiscal conservatives or the law and order party, it is straight up laughable to the rest of us, since we know it's just empty rhetoric. Which is why Democrats will say outright that they are not here to risk their reputations and risk the broader goals of the party to defend anyone who's done something wrong, including Hunter Biden. Here is Dan Goldman proving as much.
And this is just another reflection of the true independence of this Department of Justice. A Trump-appointed U.S. attorney is investigating the president's son. That is pretty remarkable. And you don't hear from the other side a respect for the fact that Joe Biden has stayed out of this investigation. And so I defer to Merrick Garland and David Weiss. If Hunter Biden has committed crimes, he should be charged with them. I'm a Democrat saying that. You don't hear any currently elected Republicans saying that if Donald Trump committed crimes, he should be charged with them and held accountable. And that's a critical distinction that the public needs to understand.
And so to Goldman's point, clearly the Democrats are able to do it. Why can't the Republicans? But of course, it's important to note that at the end of the day, this really has nothing to do with the reality surrounding Hunter Biden and everything to do with the optics. Republicans' sole priority is to follow the Steve Bannon model of throwing so much shit against the wall, knowing full well that regardless of the facts, people will eventually start to think that Joe Biden committed some crime just by virtue of the sheer amount of reporting there is on the subject. The goal for James Comer and the rest of Trump's mouthpieces is getting out there on TV and in the news every single day and repeating the refrain that Joe Biden is corrupt, that he sold influence to China, that he concocted some master plan alongside Hunter to enrich them both. It's all nonsense, but if they know that if they can repeat it enough, it'll eventually start to stick. And why do they know that? Because they've done it before. Think about it. By the time Republicans were done attacking Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server, there wasn't a person on the right who wasn't aware of it and who didn't think that her actions constituted the gravest national security threat in the history of this country. The whole point is manipulation, and Republicans absolutely know that. So for as long as Republicans want to promote these lies, we should absolutely push back and not allow them a vacuum to fill with disinformation, because that is how they succeed. And while it may have worked once for them, we should have no intention of allowing them carte blanche to peddle those lies with impunity again. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to this channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.